Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Thanks God. We are praying to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that today we can meet again in the subject of English for tourism or bahasa Inggris untuk kepariwisataan. And starting our lecture today, let's reciting together Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today is second meeting, so I would like to continue about my presentation in the last week. Because of that, allow me to share with you related to the topic today. Okay, it is clear for you about my pointers? Not yet.
Desktop, sir.
Okay, just a moment. Geser. Okay. Okay, so last week I have mentioned about what is kind of tourism, what is scope our topic in this subject. So we will discuss, we will analyze this about the tourism condition in Indonesia as the potential sector in particularly what we call as the generating income, okay, for the economic development in Indonesia. So tourism sector is very critical for economic development in Indonesia. And because of that, we should be analysis also and understand also about the tourism destination condition in Indonesia. Of course, when we talk about the tourism condition in Indonesia, we should be compare also with other countries because we can say someone is good or bad if we can compare with others. Okay, so maybe we can say that tourism destination Indonesia is good or attraction or better if the should be compared to other tourism destination in other country. Okay, because of that, in this context, I would like to introduce you how we can compare about the tourism destination Indonesia with the ASEAN countries, with the Indonesian neighbor countries. Okay, so let we see about the first text. Okay, first paragraph. This is the Southeast Asia travel and tourism condition in Indonesia and in Southeast Asian countries. The Global Competitiveness Report and Survey reveal that ASEAN natural and cultural heritage is one of its key competitive strengths. So I think as we know that Indonesia has had the natural and cultural heritage. Indonesia is the big countries, not only in size, in population, but also in cultural and natural heritage. Okay, but let's be compare with other Southeast Asian countries. Southeast Asia has a rich and diverse set of natural and tangible and intangible culture tourism resources located in both rural and urban areas. Okay, so I think if we compare with other ASEAN countries. For example, in size of territory, I think Indonesia is the big size in territory, maybe comparing with Thailand, for example, maybe 10 times, okay? Comparing with Malaysia 10 times, including also in number of population. The Indonesian population now more than 280 million, okay? 280 million. Meanwhile, Thailand just 60 million, Malaysia just 50 million. So I think it is meaning in size of territory, in number of population, Indonesia is the big countries, including also in natural and cultural heritage. So because of it, this is the potential sector for the tourism program in Indonesia. The critical problem is how we can optimize, upgrade up our tourism sector in order can advance comparing with other countries. Okay. So the region natural and cultural heritage sites inscribed in the UNESCO World Heritage List highlights and reflect its unique heritage. So as we know, UNESCO is the organization concerning with the culture, education, and social affairs, and including also in the cultural heritage, there's many cultural heritage, what we call registered and also acknowledged by the UNESCO as the cultural heritage or the world cultural heritage, not only in Indonesia but also around the world. Indonesia, as we know, for example, the Borobudur Temple, Prambanan Temple, many historical building and historical heritage in Indonesia acknowledged by UNESCO as the World Heritage Culture. Okay, World Cultural Heritage. I think it is very critical. And matched with its natural heritage is rich and diverse endemic ethnic culture with overlay of Arab, Chinese, Indian, and European influence. Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, and Christian religious tradition and vernacular architecture, music, literature, and indigenous knowledge enrich the region and add to the appeal to its outstanding natural heritage, its rural landscape, and its vibrant urban centers. As I have mentioned last week, that Indonesia, particularly, and Southeast Asia generally, I think it is the crossroad area. And Dennis Lombard, as the historian from the France, wrote the book entitled The Laka Jawa, or translated in the Bahasa Indonesia, Nusa Jawa Silang Budaya, that if we want to understand about the Indonesian culture, including also Southeast Asian culture, we should be understand about the at least three the great civilization that affected the Indonesian culture and Southeast Asian culture. As we know, since 4th century until 16th century, there's the Hindu and Buddhist culture, Hindu and Buddhist religion that impacted the Indonesian and Southeast Asian culture. There's the civilization of the Hindu with many concepts and heritage, not only tangible but also intangible culture, including also Buddha civilization. As I had mentioned about the Borobudur temple is the one example about the Buddhist civilization heritage. Prambanan temple is an example about the Hindu civilization heritage, and so on. And I have mentioned also that most of Indonesian name, particularly in Java, until now, there's many name of Hindu civilization. Okay? We have the presidents of Indonesia, Sukarno, Suharto, Susilo. It is the Hindu name. It is meaning that Hindu and Buddha civilization impacted or affected the Indonesian culture, including also the ASEAN countries. In Indonesia oneself, the Hindu civilization currently dominated in the Bali island. There's many followers of Hindu religion, including also practices about the Hindu custom, Hindu culture, and so on and so forth. Okay, and since 13th century, there's the Islam civilization that affected the Indonesian countries, including also Southeast Asian countries. Indonesia as the big countries in Southeast Asian countries until now currently become the majority country in which the population were Muslim. Okay, so there is many cultural heritage from Muslim civilization, only mosques, but also there's many teaching from Islam in which affected the Indonesian culture and Indonesian daily life. Okay, including also in language. Although the national language in Indonesia is the Malay language or the Indonesian language, but there's many Indonesian language affected or be absorbed from the Arabic language. Okay, and since 16th century also there's coming to Indonesian archipelago, to Indonesia, to Southeast Asian countries, what we call as the Western civilization, through the colonialism and imperialism. There's many Western countries who occupy the Indonesian territory, Southeast Asian countries, from the Portuguese, Spain, and then the French, the Dutch, the British, and others. Okay, so because of that, the heritage from the Western countries also affected to the Indonesian culture and Southeast Asian countries' culture. So it is also potential for the tourism sector, in which in these countries there's the blended culture. Okay, so there's the diverse culture, not only in tangible and intangible culture, physically material culture, but also non-material culture, the idea, the teaching, and so on and so forth. Okay, so many religion in the world also available in Southeast Asian countries. There are the Islam, there's the Hindu, Buddha, Christian also there's many what experience. such as the Catholic, the Protestant, the Pentecostal, and others. Okay, and including also I think in the time of Abdurrahman Wahid administration, Gus Dur, President Gus Dur, there's also the Confucius as the religion for the Chinese community. Okay, so I think it is showing that Southeast Asian countries, including also Indonesia, is diverse countries, not only in culture, but also in religion. However, let's we see about the data, okay? Data of tourists who are coming to Southeast Asian countries. It is interesting to note here that comparing with other countries in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is not yet number one in tourist sector or in international tourist arrival to ASEAN countries, to Indonesian country. Okay. Number one, it is interesting to hear. Number one is Thailand. As I have mentioned, Thailand, the number of population just 60 million. Meanwhile, Indonesia is second. What is to 280 million. Okay, 280 million. So I think there are 3 to 4 times comparing to the Thailand population. But in tourism sector, Thailand is number one. It is meaning that there are many tourism destination in Thailand who interested in to visit by tourist visitor, particularly tourists who comes from overseas country or from abroad, comparing with Indonesia. Okay. It is number one, Thailand, and number two is Malaysia. Okay. In tourism sector. As we know, the population of Malaysia just 20 million. Meanwhile, Indonesia is 280 million. So I think it is what we call 9 times in number of population. But in tourism sector also, Malaysia is number one and number two. Okay. Before the COVID, for example, the tourist arrival to the Malaysia is 24 million, is in million, okay, not in a thousand. Meanwhile, as I have mentioned earlier, that the population of Malaysia is just 20 million. So the tourist visitor to the Malaysia is near to the number of population. Okay. Thailand is what is this, 15, okay. I think maybe Malaysia not 24, maybe because it is number two is 14, okay, 14 million. Thailand is 15 million. Meanwhile, the population is just 60 million. Malaysia is 14 million. Meanwhile, the population is just 30 million. Indonesia is number 3. Okay, number 3. Before COVID, just 7 million. And in the COVID era, they are decreasing just 4 million. Okay. Malaysia also 4 million. Thailand still number 1, 6 million. So I think if we comparing with other countries in Southeast Asian countries in which Indonesia is diverse in religion, diverse in culture, also interested in many tourism destination, but the the tourist visitor, particularly from abroad, it is less comparing with others countries, comparing with Thailand and Malaysia. The critical question is why? Why the tourism destination in Indonesia, in many area in Indonesia, less interested in comparing with the tourism destination in Thailand and in Malaysia, and it is become the big humbug, okay, for Indonesian stakeholders who concerned with the tourism sector, okay. Okay, the condition in the time of COVID, of course, this is impacting to the tourism sector, but this condition not only in Indonesia, but also in other countries, including also in ASEAN countries. But the position on Indonesia is still left behind comparing with Thailand, Malaysia, even the Singapore. Okay? Singapore is just the city state, okay, not the big state. It is a small state. I think maybe Singapore is similar or like region or major in Indonesia. Okay, the state is what is the city state. Okay, not the country state like Indonesia. Okay, the COVID-19 virus began to spread in ASEAN since the beginning of 2020. The impact of the pandemic that occurred in many sectors of the country was disrupted, such as education, economy, and trade, as well as tourism. Okay? But however, since 2022 until currently, the COVID pandemic was over, and how the condition of tourism sector. I think the condition of tourism sector in Indonesia and other ASEAN countries not change drastically. It is meaning that Indonesia is still left behind comparing with the ASEAN countries. Thailand is number 1, Malaysia is number 2, Singapore is number 3, maybe Indonesia number 4. Okay, so we are interested in this topic because countries in ASEAN, especially Indonesia, are countries that are famous for their natural beauty. However, with the pandemic supported by very strict and different procedure, policy, and protocol in each countries, making it even more difficult for Indonesian citizens and foreigners to travel because the risk of spreading is too high. Okay, it is the condition in the COVID-19 pandemic period. But after COVID was over, I think, as I have mentioned, the condition is not changed drastically. Because of that, let's analyze this again. What the main factors that the tourism sector in Indonesia is still left behind, not yet progressively compared with the ASEAN countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. Okay, in my opinion, maybe this is because the two factors. Okay, firstly is about the stability, and secondly is about the facilities. Stability is very important. I think as we know, Indonesia is the democratic countries, okay, and in democracy countries, there's many what we call as the demonstration action, okay, protest movement, and this is related to the stability of political and social condition, okay, maybe particularly for the foreign visitor or foreign tourists. If there's many demonstration, many protest movement in the big cities in Indonesia, the social and political condition is not good for the tourism sector. Okay, if we go to many big cities in Jakarta, in Bandung, in Yogyakarta, in Surabaya, okay, there's no more the foreign tourists or overseas tourists. But if we go to Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Pattaya, there's many foreign tourists. Okay, so when uh, I was when I accompanied uh, the lecturer from the Malaysia, okay, and visiting the Bandung city in alun-alun Masjid Agung, okay, and the question from my colleagues from the lecturer in Malaysia is why in Bandung there is no more foreign tourists comparing in Putrajaya, in Kuala Lumpur, and other area in Malaysia. In my opinion, this is related to the social and political condition. Maybe not fully safe for the tourists from abroad if uh, visiting to Indonesia because uh, there's many demonstration action, tourist what is protest movement, and so on and so forth. Secondly is facilities. Facility is very critical, and there's many aspects should be developed related to the tourist sector. I think in ICT aspects such as internet, okay, should be also available. Hotel, highway, road, and others facility should be available. So we see also, for example, about the Gunung Tangkuban Perahu destination. Okay, I think there's no strictly change. There's no changing from time to time. When I was come to Bandung in 1980s, the condition of Tangkuban Perahu destination is not drastically changing. Okay, because of that, maybe the number of tourists, particularly from abroad, it is no significantly what is and drastically change. Okay. Meanwhile, if we go, for example, to Langkawi or Sentosa Island in Singapore, Langkawi in Malaysia, or Pattaya in Bangkok, in Thailand, there's good in facilities. Okay. Yes, they're available about the hotel, highway, internet, and others, what we call as hospitality and facility for the tourist sector. Let we take also the simple example about the Masjid Al-Jabar, Al-Jabar Mosque in Gede Bage, okay? I think it is the interesting side, but the facility is not fully good. There's no access. There's the way, the road, but what is still not good to access. In the Al Jabar Mosque, also there's the no hotels. Okay, so I think it is maybe become one of the problems in Indonesian tourist sector, in which comparing with other countries, the condition of tourist sector in Indonesia is still left behind. Particularly if we see about the data about the tourist visitor, particularly from abroad. I think in 2024 now, the tourism visitor in Indonesia is just 4 until 6 million. Let me see about the Malaysia, more than 20 million. Let's see also about the Thailand, more than 25 million. So I think it is become the challenge for the stakeholders who concern with the tourism sector to develop how the tourism sector in Indonesia can progress, develop, particularly in the number of tourist visitor from abroad. Okay, I think Bali Island is one of the good example about the tourism sector for the tourists abroad. But Bali Island also, it compared with the Thailand tourism sector, Pattaya, for example, or Bangkok, I think Bali is also still left behind. So because of that, I think not only two factors, as I have mentioned, stability and facilities, but also should be analyzes other factors. Why the tourism condition in Indonesia is not yet progressively, not yet developed, comparing with other countries in Southeast Asian region. Okay, so I think it is also will become the critical question in my lecture today. So when you will make the brief comment or analysis in the video in the Mindamas YouTube, please you analysis why the tourism sector in Indonesia comparing with other ASEAN countries tourism is still left behind. Okay, not yet still number one. Number one is Thailand, number two is Malaysia, number three I think Singapore. Indonesia tourism sector is still number four, or maybe number five, because that Vietnam also good in managing tourism sector. Okay, please look the data based on the Google about the condition of our tourism sector in Indonesia comparing to other countries in ASEAN. Okay, I think that's my lecture today, 34 minutes. And let's ending our lecture today by reciting also Hamdalah, Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. And the head of class, please take the picture before ending our lecture. And please, all participants, all students should be on camera, because if you off camera, you will be categorized as not attending in this lecture. Okay. So Ramdan, please you make the sign to your friend should be on camera, because you will take the picture about this lecture today.
Okay, sir. Just just one slide. Rama and Isem. please open your camera.
Pratama and Julpanis Pratama, Muhammad Julpanis Pratama should be also on camera. Just one slide, right? Okay, please, Ramdan.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
It is enough. Please, you check again your picture if it is good. I think it is okay. And as I have mentioned last week also, that the student who take the MBKM subject, also you must make the brief comment or report, but related to your activity in the MBKM, okay? Not related to our subject today. So what your report related to your activities daily or weekly in the MBKM subject, okay? But for the student who take directly about the subject should answering my critical question, why the Indonesian tourism sector comparing with other countries in Southeast Asian countries still left behind, not yet developed fully. For example, become number one in Southeast Asian countries. Okay. Thank you for your attending and your concern in this subject. Inshallah, we will meet again in the next week with different topic. I just remind you, please also preparing about what your topic, what your theme will be presented in the PowerPointers, okay? So please you preparing to make the PowerPointers to be presented in the Zoom meeting lecture in the next time, okay? Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you,
Okay,
Chef.
welcome. We can let from this Zoom.